Good morning, Greg here. Burning at both ends. Burning on the front end of Saturday at 7:31 a.m. Pacific. It is the 28th of July, 2018. And so this morning's post is going to be kind of like a classic post with the outline and everything. And so today's topic, and you'll see the slight twist here, the aspiring entrepreneur's quandary. It's not a dilemma. I've been saying dilemma the last couple times, and so now I'm doing a whole post on this. Really wanted to get in the details, so I have the outline here. And a dilemma is kind of deciding amongst unfavorable things, two crummy paths, and which is less crummy. So a quandary is a state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. And so I think that's a better word to describe what I'm about to get into. And so, what this is, right? So as an aspiring entrepreneur, the process of searching for an exciting opportunity that warrants like this full commitment, which can be scary. Now, this is the quandary. It's not a dilemma, right? Because we're looking at two or three or four really awesome ways to go, right? This is not unfavorable. This is and it's perplexity, it's uncertainty, right? Because these are not straightforward things to look at. A business opportunity, these are very complicated, right? It requires internal work, external work, and I'll get into all this stuff, right? And so assessing, for example, team versus idea, right, versus growth opportunity, and then there could be any other number of like related kind of things specific to different opportunities. Like one, I might have to move to a different state. One, I might be working from home. One, I might, be working for a big company or a small, like a small company. One, I might have to do a lot of international work. Might require a lot of traveling. I'm making stuff up here, but you definitely have team, idea, growth opportunity, and then you'll have a whole number of other things. And it's like, okay, how do I kind of sift through this stuff, analyze, and then make a decision? Because entrepreneurial style, that commitment, you're looking at 5-10 years depending on what it is. If you're real serious about building a business, if that is the outcome, this idea of 2 to 3 years and exit, and that's great if that can be hit, but typically it's going to be longer than that. And then this also kind of has a big impact on the idea, the team, right, the growth opportunity, the positioning, the timing, all this good stuff. And so so this is a quandary, and so I put the definition of the word quandary, right, and as I said, I started with the word dilemma, not the best word. And let's see, what else do I got here? So as far as this work goes, right, and so I kind of break it into two pieces, right? There's the internal work and then there's the external work, right? The internal work is all on myself. This is why you'll hear a lot of people talk about goals and why and life's purpose, and that's why this is such critical work, because this is where this comes from. Is now I have this list of things about me as it relates to this opportunity or these opportunities. And this is very simple work to do. It is not easy work to do. That's a very important distinction. It's simple in the fact that you can pick up any number of books and follow a process and do it, right? We are not confused as people as to how to do this work. This internal why, it's difficult. It's difficult because it takes a lot of effort. It takes probably some folks that really know me really well. And, it's probably going to be challenging for all of us, because I'm going to have to ask some really challenging questions, and they're going to have to give me some feedback, some very honest feedback that they might not want to tell me, right, about my, working with me or my strengths, my weaknesses, all these things. And it does typically involve getting others to help, right? This is very difficult to do this work just by myself. But like I said, there's lots of books out there, lots of seminars and programs you can get involved in. So I guess I would say there's no excuse for not doing this work. And I would argue that doing the internal work first, is more important, because then it'll help guide as you start to look for these opportunities. You'll start looking in certain places, or I'll start looking in certain places based on that internal work. That's why that's so important. and then the external work, right? I just finished this I-Core program, this technology transfer training, and I would say that this is like part of that external work is how do I look at an opportunity and how do I really like assess it and this product market fit and, growth and, all this stuff. And once again, as I-Core preaches, this is the lean startup model. This is getting out of the building, as they say, and this is around talking to the market. Right. This is why that's so important, because once again, it's not me in my office coming up with this stuff. This is me, because the market is the thing that's going to decide, not me, not whether I think it's good. And that's been the downfall of many business opportunities. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for an objective, non-biased analysis of the opportunity. Of the business, right? So just to remind you, we've done the internal work, so I know about myself, I know what I'm looking for, my whys, my purpose, my strengths, my weaknesses, where I want to focus, and now I put that body to the side. Now I'm looking for opportunities, and how do I get objective, unbiased analyses of these opportunities, right? And then I'm always faced with that gut feel versus structured analysis, right? This can be tough, right? There's a lot of research that says gut feel is a great way to go. Some folks really like some kind of very structured analysis, so that way they do their best to have an apples to apples comparison. This is all personal taste. There's no right answer there. But there is a similarity with the internal work that I found, involves asking tough questions, right? And being really attentive and hearing their responses. This is why also back to I-Core, they recommend having face-to-face interviews, so that way you can see people's eyes, people's pupils dilate or not, or their reactions to things. This is where the ability to read people and kind of understand if someone's telling the truth or if they're kind of trying to get one past you. And also, typically when tough questions are asked, people want to appease. Sometimes they don't always want to give the truth. And so this can, especially folks now this is this external work. So these are people that you might not be so intimate with. These might be people you're going to want to bring on the team, or potential customers, people that you're just meeting or just building relationships with. So there might be this yearning to just kind of appease people. And that's just part of being human. And it's tough, because that's not really going to help a business succeed if people, if you're not getting really solid, honest answers. And then, even though there's all this, question asking, in my opinion, actions speak louder than the words, right? And so, what are the real actions? And I think that's why it's important to ask the tough questions. Then you get one response, and then you see the actions, and then hopefully that should be in alignment with the response. Right, should be some concern if that's not true. And this is why for example, at this I-Core program, we had a lot of panel discussions with investors, VCs, and different types. What I'm learning is there's all kinds of funding opportunities out there. This classic VC thing is not. I mean, there are obviously classic VCs, but there are a lot of VCs that now have a whole different type of model. Are much more into the business building aspect of things versus just the business flipping aspect of things. Not that they don't want an exit, but from what we've seen directly, is there's a lot more patience in this game right now, because we need to have it. Of course, if you're involved in a purely software startup like an app or something, that might still be the classic model, because that's really easy to get into and flip, and that can have a very short time frame. It can be very scalable, very easily scaled. But this is why, for example, going to a VC, the process might take 6 to 9 to 12 months before they'll say, yeah, we're going to write you a check. And the reason why, and this is out of the mouths of these VCs, is that they want to give the process time, so that way all the truths reveal themselves. It's kind of like the challenge of going for an interview for a job. It's like, if I can show up with my A game for one interview, it's easy. Or for one set of interactions, right? It's several interviews, it's several styles of question asking I have a visitor. Good morning. Yeah, can I finish up, please? Okay. So we had a little visitor there. My youngest came in, and when she wants what she wants, she's pretty determined. But anyway, what I was saying is that showing up for an interview with my A game is easy, and that's why some of these processes need to be more drawn out, so that way the truth will find its way to the surface, right? And this is why there's face-to-faces and questions, and then go off, and now there's due diligence to do, and it's seeing how people show up. Very important. And then so now we've done this internal work. Now we've done this external work. We've done the best to assess this opportunity or these opportunities. And what I've come up with not recently, but over the years, is how important the team is. And me personally, I put team above everything else. And I'll tell you why. It's because the team is going to do the work to get through the tough times, and there will be tough times. Right? My opinion is, the market's going to respond. Now, this is of course all post-commitment, which is why it's so difficult, right? So now I had not learned this next statement here, or the result of this next statement, until I'm in the opportunity, right? So the market's going to respond with the truth. And then this will most likely change the idea and therefore change the plan. And now it's up to the team to react and move forward and keep that same tenacity going. And what if, the idea has shifted so far that it's, now it's, it's not the baby. It's not, what's been in the back of people's minds for this long time. And now everyone's got to really get behind this new idea. And with it's going to come a new plan. And so, I guess from my point of view, I can see why the team is so important, right? Because of this, because I know this is going to happen, right? As Steve Blank says, a business plan does not survive the first customer. This is where that comes from. This is where the whole lean startup model came from. It's just, writing this business plan kind of pre-business, which is when you have to write it, and then just sticking to that plan, as per the lean startup model, is a fool's errand, just because of all the changes that will come, all the things that you didn't know. And then once you meet those first customers, now it changes. And so, for me, it goes back to the team, because the team can handle, the team needs to be able to handle any challenge that is thrown at it, simply put. And that's just, that's so critical. That is so critical. So yeah, I will leave it there. So y'all be good. This is my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. I think my visitor's back. And check out the descriptions. Lots of links down there. The beat in the background. G Money is my alter ego. I write beats. Check them out on SoundCloud if you like that kind of thing. Have a great day. Subscribe if you like what you hear. Ask questions. I'd love to help. So please ask me for help. I'd love to be of service as best as I can. And have a great day. Have a great weekend. Go out. Do great things. My visitor is on her way over. So I will break here. Yeah, inspire folks. Do great things. Light it up. I will see you tonight.